Good morning, fifth graders. Good rainy morning, I might add to you. So I know it's a day that you probably just wanted to crawl right back up and go to bed. I'm not saying I felt that way, but nevertheless, let's try to get some stuff done quickly. And then maybe you can have the afternoon to read a book or watch a movie or rest and do something just relaxing for the afternoon. So we're still continuing with dividing, and today's lesson is division with rounding off. So earlier this week we did dividing with decimals, and then yesterday we worked on rounding off, and today we're going to marry the two. We're going to have division with rounding off. Sometimes when you divide, the problem, no matter how long you work at it, will not terminate. It will not come out evenly. So when that happens, you have to round the quotient, which is what you'll see happens in our lesson today. So let's take a look. I'm looking right at your workbook, section number 1, A, B, and C. Now the directions say to round off the nearest tenth. Remember, when I say tenth, you say 1. So we're going one spot after the decimal. This is my determining digit. If it's 5 or larger, we round up. So that becomes 9/10. And remember this guy here, we just drop him off. He's only used for the purpose of determining if it needs to be rounded or not. Let's look at letter B, 1 46/100. Now this is a whole number. Don't get confused. That's not tenths. Here's my tenth spot. This is my determining digit. It's a 6. 5 or larger, we round up. So that becomes 1 5/10. I know you're getting the hang of this. Letter C, 2 7/100. We go to our 10th spot. The 7 is my determining digit. Again, it's going to cause that 0 to round up. So that becomes 2.1. There are your answers for letters A, B, and C. Let's move on now to section number 2. Section 2, the directions say round off to the nearest hundredth. When I say hundredths, you say 2. You're going 2 spots after the decimal. So we've got 4 629 thousandths. So I go 2 spots after the decimal. The 9 is my determining digit. So we round that 2 up to a 3. So it's 4 63 hundredths. And then letter B, tenths, hundredths. This is my thousandths, and for some reason all of these are having to be rounded up, but this is an 8, so that becomes a 5. So it's 7 5/100. That's the answer for letters A and B. Now, let's take and do some division. Number 3, divide or round off to the nearest tenth. Now, in order for us to round to the nearest tenth, what do you think we would have to divide to? You're going to have to divide to the nearest hundredth. So, and remember, we add a decimal and a 0 one at a time. So we've got 6 into 25. Now I know 6 can go into 25 4 times because 6 times 4 is 24. That leaves a remainder of 1. So I add my decimal here in the quotient. I add a 0, I bring it down. 6 can go into 10 one time, but I've got a remainder of 4. And it's not going to terminate. If I continue going, I'm going to see a pattern, and so it won't terminate. But I know I've got to divide one more spot because otherwise I have nothing in which to round it. There's no determining digit. So I'm going to go one more spot. 6 goes into 40 how many times? 6 times, because 6 times 6 is 36. There's still a remainder of 4. I'm going to stop writing here because I'm running out of room, but we're actually done. Even though it's not terminated, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this little squiggly equal sign. It means approximately equal to, and I round it to 4.2 because the 6 enables that 1 to round up. So it's 4.2. Now I'm going to clear this one off a bit, and let's go ahead and look at 3B. Now, same thing. We are going to divide it to the hundredth spot and round to the tenths. 9 can go into 79 8 times. 8 times 9 is 72. 9 minus 2 is 7. That is smaller, but we've not terminated. Add a decimal, a 0. Bring it down. 9 goes into 70 7 times. 9 times 70 is 63. And that's going to leave us, let's see, 7 left over. We're going to go one more time. Do you kind of see a pattern here? And so 9 goes into 70 again 7 times. And see, I can continue to divide this until I turn 30. And then it's going to still be 8.777777. So I'm going to round it so that I don't have to spend my whole day on this problem. And so I'm rounding it to 8 decimal. Do you think you know the answer? If you said 8, you are correct. Why? Because this 7 causes that 7 to round. So it's 8.8. Now, there are 2 more problems in this section. And so hopefully you can do those on your own. And if you need to, you can go back and stop the video and look at these again. I'm going to help you with one more. I tell you what, I know not all of my 5th graders are watching these videos, but those of you that are, you're really getting a lot of help because, my goodness, we just about finished the whole front page together. So I'm proud of you for watching the videos, and I hope that you will continue. Now, let's look at section 4. What do the directions say to do? Divide. Round off to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so this time I'm going to have to add an additional 0 because I've got to go to the thousandth spot in order to be able to round it. So 3 goes into 26. Let's see, 8 times. And that's going to give me a 2 left over. Add my decimal here and here. The 0. 3 goes into 20. Let's see. Well, I need your help. I am struggling this morning with this division. 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. And 2 is left over. We're going to go again. And then we've got 3 goes into 20 6 times. Do you see that pattern? All right, so again, it's just going to continue on and on. So we're going to round it to the nearest hundredth. So we go tenths, hundredths. There's my determining digit. This rounds to 8.67. 8 and 67 hundredths. All right, guys. I think that's a good help for today. Let me know if you have any questions. And I won't be coming to you today with a history video. We did a little bit of a longer one the last 2 days, so wait till tomorrow for that. So this will be it for today. So get your math done and the rest of your subjects and have a great day.